Hello everyone, this is Mark Malloy. I'm going to make another video today, but this time it's not about running, it's about something else. It's about Star Wars. I am a Star Wars fan, but I wouldn't call myself obsessed with Star Wars, but yeah, I like watching it. I think they're good movies anyway. And today I'm making a movie on why the prequels could have been better. The prequel trilogy, episodes 1, 2 and 3. So yeah, I have some notes written out here, all my own work. So, I did take a bit of time to prepare for this. Might have to look back at them if I can't remember what I'm saying. So, right, first up, I will start with episode 1 and why I don't think it's as good as it could have been. So, first off, it's a lack of excitement. It really is. I mean, an example would be when there's droids trying to kill the Jedis, Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon. They seem to just kill the droids too easily. It's just, in the original trilogy, it wasn't that easy. I mean, yeah, I know the stormtroopers didn't tend to shoot people very often. They always tended to miss. But at least they made it seem like it wasn't easy. Like, it took a bit of an effort to escape. Not just anyone could escape stormtroopers. You have to be skilled. But in this, it just feels like they're too easy, really. Just walk in the park. And, I would have liked to have seen the droids a little bit better, a little bit more harder to stop, definitely. Maybe... Okay, so droids. Okay, I did that. Jar Jar Binks. Yeah, he's annoying. His character doesn't go anywhere. And at the end, after episode 1, he's already in it that much. He's in episode 2 a little bit, in episode 3 at the very end. And I think that. So what they were trying to do was the original plan I heard was they were trying to make Jar Jar Binks a Sith Lord. So they tried to make him he tried to act all stupid and clumsy in the first film, episode 1, and then that was just to deceive everybody, to make them think that he was harmless when he really wasn't. He was a Sith Lord the whole time, very powerful, very skilled. Well, that never happened. I think if they did do that in episode 2, he came out as a Sith Lord instead of Count Dooku, I think it would have been better. It would have been a very patient build up to a shocking moment in the movie. It would almost be as big as Darth Vader revealing himself as Anakin Skywalker in episode 5. Yeah, I think they should have done that. I know that movie I think the reason they got rid of that was because Jar Jar Binks was so unpopular, but I still think George Lucas should have stuck with it, because I think Count Dooku was a bit of a pointless character, really. Anyway, okay, so Anakin is too young. Yeah, that's obvious. Anakin's 9 years old in this movie. He's just too young. He's too vulnerable. I think it would have been better if he was at least 20, at least able to defend himself, rather than just having to have all the Jedi look after him the whole time. And yeah, it's just way too young. Okay, we don't get to know Darth Maul. Yeah, this guy's a Sith Lord. He seems very powerful. He's the only Sith Lord we've come across with double-bladed lightsaber in all the Star Wars movies that I know of, and he's very skillful. But we don't tend to know very much about him. He only talks a couple of times. We don't really get to know much about his background, apart from in some cartoons, Clone Wars or something. And I think we should have got to know him a bit better in episode 1. Yeah, and okay, there's too much politics. Yeah, like there's trade federations and all that, trade blockades, and I think that's a bit ridiculous. I think it's a bit boring, to be honest. It's unnecessary. Yeah, I'd say they would have been better off having more. To make more successful prequels, they would have been better off having just episode 2, 3, turn them into 3 movies and change them a bit, so the whole thing isn't as rushed overall. So episode 1 it doesn't seem that important. It seems like something you might want to read in a comic, not in a movie. It seems like a bit of a waste of time to me. Pod racing, that's the next one. Pod racing, some people tend to say that pod racing is the best part in the movie, because Anakin Skywalker wins, and he wins his freedom because Qui-Gon made a bet. He said, if Anakin wins and we free him, if he doesn't, then you can keep our ship. That was to get off Tatooine, because they got stuck on Tatooine for some reason, and he won the race. But I wasn't really a big fan of it. I know some people are, but personally I just don't like that. Anakin show no signs of Darth Vader. Yeah, it just seems like an innocent child, really. He doesn't show any signs of Darth Vader. He does a bit more in episode 2, which is good, but I think I'll get onto that later anyway. So Qui-Gon is really boring. Yeah, he just has a boring voice. They all have boring voices. The acting's kind of poor, I think. It's all just lack of excitement, the way sometimes I'd be talking like that, but it's not very exciting. Right, so episode 2 now. Okay, first off, I give episode 1 4 out of 10. as a mark, and I give episode 2 a 6 out of 10. I think it is an improvement, but still got many flaws. So I think Anakin and Obi-Wan argue too much. That happens way too much to be. I could be saying why all the time and just trying to act like the leader, and Obi-Wan be giving out to him. It's not very exciting, and Anakin gives out way too much. Obi-Wan can be a bit of a dick himself too. Like when they took the effort to go save Obi-Wan Kenobi, and they end up getting captured, and they're going to get killed in Geonosis, put to death. Anakin tells them that they came to save him, and Obi-Wan just sarcastically says, "Good job." And I think that's just it's not the place or the time to do that. Really, it's just ridiculous. And Anakin's complaining about Obi-Wan to Padme to the extent that it gets annoying. Yeah, it gets annoying. Obi-Wan, he's just saying, "Oh, everyone's all jealous. He's holding me back. I'm ahead of him. I'm way better than him," and all this stuff. And yeah, it's just annoying. It just goes over the top, really. It's okay. I think it'd be okay if he did give out about him every now and then, but it's just too much. Anakin goes to Naboo to protect Padme, but nothing happens. Yeah, nothing at all happens there. It's just boring. He goes there to protect her. All they do is talk the whole time. I mean, it seems to be a peaceful planet in Naboo. Nothing's happening. I think it would have been better if there was a little bit more action going on. Droids going after him or something like that. And I know there's too much flirting going on, and Anakin is just too creepy. I think he's just boring. I don't know. And yeah, well, I'd say one thing I will not flaw is Obi-Wan and his journey to some planet. I forget the name of it. They were making the clone army, and Obi-Wan comes across Jango Fett, and they get into a battle, and they just fly across the galaxy, and Jango Fett ends up thinking that he kills Obi-Wan when he really doesn't, and Obi-Wan tracks him down to Geonosis. I'm not going to flaw that. I thought that was a good part of the movie. It was exciting. And alright, so the Battle of Geonosis, I'm not going to give that any real flaws. I think that was a good part of the movie. It was exciting, so it's not getting flaws for me. But I'd say in the lightsaber fight between Dooku, Anakin, and Obi-Wan, it's just Obi-Wan and not Qui-Gon, Anakin Skywalker, they get beaten too easily. It's just some old 80-year-old man beating guys. One guy's 20, the other's 30. I think that's their age in the real Star Wars world, and it's just too unbelievable. It's too quick. Count Dooku wins this too easily. It's almost like them in episode 1 killing all the droids. It's not exciting. It's just too easy. I think they should make it seem like a bit more of a struggle anyway, more of an intense fight. But then Yoda comes in to save them, which I think is a good idea. The fight is more exciting. It's more fast paced, but at the end of the day, it's just too short. I think that fight should have gone a bit longer. And Count Dooku escapes, a bit like a coward. And I would like to see that fight at least going longer, even if the Count Dooku did escape in the end. Okay, so on to the next one, episode 3. I think this is the best out of all the Star Wars prequels. Give it 8 out of 10. I thought it was quite good, but it does have some flaws. I thought it could have been better. So overall, it was too rushed. Yeah, I think Anakin doesn't seem to turn to the dark side until the very middle of the movie, which I thought was too late. I'll go back to episode 2. I think the Clone Wars only started at the end of that movie, and I think they should have started at the beginning of the first one, or at least somewhere in the middle. So there'd be more fighting, more action, rather than just some Gungans fighting some droids and quickly being forgotten about by the next movie. It makes episode 1 seem more pointless. And another thing, we already know from the originals that Anakin is Darth Vader. He's going to turn to the dark side, so it's no real surprise. I mean, Star Wars is a famous movie. This was released in 2005. We knew from 1980, when episode 5 was released, that Obi-Wan is Luke's father. He's Anakin Skywalker, so people knew about this for 25 years. It's almost like common sense by this stage, so it's no real surprise. And that's a problem. It'd be like if they made the prequels first, then in episode 5, when Darth Vader reveals himself, that wouldn't be a surprise. That would just be boring. We know it already. Okay, so it's one or the other really in my opinion. So it's too obvious that Palpatine is the Emperor, because yeah, it is too obvious. I mean, the accent is a real giveaway, and also Ian McDiarmid plays the role of the Emperor in episode 6, and then he's Palpatine in episodes 1, 2 and 3. The same, they should have had a different actor. That would have made more sense, because it wouldn't have been as obvious then. I mean, I'm not saying everybody knew it was Palpatine. I'm sure there were some people who didn't, but they should have made it that barely anyone would have known that it was Palpatine. Only people would have been only able to guess. They wouldn't have been able to just know. Okay, so Darth Vader and the War turning happened too fast. Yeah, I mean, Darth Vader turns to the dark side around the middle of episode 3. I think that should have happened at episode 2, probably towards the end, I'd say, or somewhere in the middle. So then we can have more time of Darth Vader in human form. So he's not a machine. You know, he becomes a machine at the end of episode 3. I wouldn't change that. So I mean, he's only Darth Vader in human form for about a day or something, maybe 2. I think I'd like to see more action of him as a Sith Lord in his human form before he had to be put into the suit. And there's not enough footage of the Jedi Temple raid. It's all just too rushed. The war seems to turn, as in the Jedi think they're about to win. They just have a few droids to kill. It's all easy, plain sailing, and then all of a sudden, with a click of the fingers, then it's the dark side are on top, and the clones have turned, and everyone's going against them. I think can't be that quick. It needs a little bit more time. It just seems a bit unbelievable that things can just work out that well and change that quickly. Maybe it should have been more a case of more time, more effort, more things going right for the Sith before they fully take over. And so yeah, I'd say lightsaber fights were too slow in general. Okay, last 2 were not. Yoda, Palpatine, and Darth Vader, Obi-Wan. Those fights were brilliant. I'm not going to fault them, but it's just I think there's quite too many lightsaber fights in this movie. I mean, the one with General Grievous and Obi-Wan, I'd say that was a good fight because it was something a little bit different. But overall, I don't think General Grievous should have been in this movie. I think he was a little bit unnecessary. I think too much time spent towards him. I think the lightsaber fight was pretty good. It's something a little bit different. They see them wrestling, they're fighting without lightsabers. That's something we've never really seen before. So I'd give that a thumbs up. And yes, fight between Mace Windu and the Emperor, that was a bit boring, too slow paced. At least they should have at least made it a little bit more exciting, more fast paced. And any more lightsaber fights? Yeah, the one between Count Dooku and Anakin at the start of the movie, that was a bit boring. I don't know why. I mean, Count Dooku seems so much more powerful in episode 2. Either that or he's just playing with Anakin, underestimating him. It's a bit boring, really. I think they probably as I said earlier, they should have made Anakin part of the dark side earlier on in the movie, so he just turned earlier. We see more footage of him as a Sith Lord in human form. And yeah, I'm not going to flaw the last bit. The last bit was brilliant, I think. Darth Vader being put into the suit at the end after he got his limbs cut off and burnt on Mustafar. That was brilliant. The fight was brilliant. Yoda, Palpatine. I didn't enjoy that lightsaber as much, but I still thought it was quite good. The way Yoda has to try to escape, go to Dagobah, feels that he has failed, even though he's the so-called Jedi, the best Jedi ever, or something. Is there anything else? Can't really think of anything else, so I'll leave it there. Right, that is the end of my Star Wars theory. Instead of running, something a little bit different. Good to give myself a little bit of a break from the old talking about running, because there's more to life than running. And if you enjoy this movie or video, please give it a thumbs up. If you don't, please give it a dislike. I like to have honest criticism. There's a comment section below. Please comment, give me criticism if you want, but make sure it's constructive criticism, because I want to learn, I want to improve. And subscribe if you're new. And well, that's it. That's me, Mark Malloy. That's my video. We're finished.